5-minute warning, approximate 5-minute warning to Dirk Cardenas at the men's start. 5-minute warning. Two-minute warning, 2-minute warning to Dirk Cardenas at the men's start. 2-minute warning. Track's now clear at the men's start for Dirk Cardenas. Sled and track from the men's start. Gavin Davis, stand by, please. Welcome, viewers and guests to the Utah Olympic Park. Today is race day. We have the USLA Junior Nationals Championship. We're starting off with the men's division. We have 11 sliders in the track. We have Dirk Cardenas coming down the track. He had a start time of 2.917. Little trouble there in the 10-11 straightaway. Hit left, puts him early, but he gets it under control coming out of 11. Now going into 13. Good line out of 13 into 14. Little bump there at low point as he crosses that finish line with a downtime of 54.722. Track's now clear at the men's start for Gavin Davis. Sled and track from the men's start. Logan Barnes, stand by, please. In the track, we have Gavin Davis. Start time, 2.907. Little trouble coming into Bob 2, Bob 3, but he gets it under control as he now comes down into Snowy Curve 6, into 7. Top speed, 78.2 miles an hour as he now goes through those labyrinth curves. Little brush sliders left going through that 10-11 straightaway. Good line into 12, into 13, 14. Straight down the middle of our shady thicket as he crosses that finish line with a downtime of 49.693. Track's now clear at the men's start for Logan Barnes. Sled and track from the men's start. Chase Summers, stand by, please. In the track, we have Logan Barnes. Start time, 2.841. As Logan now goes through Cutthroat into Snowy, which is curve 6. Top speed, 81.9 miles an hour. Fastest sled so far this morning as he now goes into curve 11. Nice line out of 12 into 13, now 14. Hugging that sliders left as he goes through low point, crossing the finish line with a 47.896. Currently first place at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Chase Summers. Sled and track from the men's start. Gabriel DeSaltel, stand by, please. In the track, we have Chase Summers with a start time of 2.865 as he now goes through Sunny into Cutthroat. He's currently 3/10 behind the pace as he now goes through our speed trap at 79.9 miles an hour. Ooh, little trouble hitting left and then going early into 11. And then real hard hit coming out of 11. But he seems to be getting it under control as he now goes through 13 into 14. That's going to cost him some time as he now goes through the shady thicket, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 53.485 seconds. Track's now clear at the men's start for Gabriel DeSaltels. Sled and track from the men's start. Aiden Mueller, stand by, please. In the track, we have Gabriel DeSaltes. Little trouble going from men's 3 into Bob 2. That is the trickiest part of this track, is making that transition. You can make it clean, you are going to have a good time. If not, it's going to rob you of a lot of speed, which as he goes through our speed trap at 78.9 miles an hour, he's coming out of curve 11, good line into 12. Now 13 going into 14. Nice line through the shady thicket as he comes up and crosses that finish line at 49.536 seconds. He's currently second place at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Aiden Mueller. Sled and track from the men's start. Andrew Robertson, stand by, please. In the track, we have Aiden Mueller with a start time of 2.807 seconds. And Mueller's now coming out of curve 4, Sunny, into Cutthroat, which is 5, now Snowy 6. Top speed, 82 miles an hour, our fastest sled so far today, as he's going through those labyrinth curves straight down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Nice line out of 11 into 12. He's currently 15 hundredths ahead of the pace as he comes down through low point, going up through the finish line with a downtime of 47.310, your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Andrew Robertson. Sled and track from the men's start. Christopher Brand, stand by, please. In the track, we have Andrew Robertson, who hits hard coming out of Bob 2, but he gets it under control as he now comes down through curve 4 into cut through curve 5, now 6. Top speed, 79.8 miles an hour as he hits those labyrinth curves. The labyrinth, a series of quick left and right curves that every track around the world has, as he now comes into 12, into 13. Now 14, good line. Up through the shady thicket, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 49.015 seconds. Currently in third place at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Christopher Brand. Sled and track from the men's start. Ben Wingfield, stand by, please. In the track, we have Christopher Brand. Little trouble again going through Bob 2, 3, getting a little sideways going through the 3-4 straightaway, but he gets it under control as he now is going through curve 6, Snowy, with a top speed of 78.3 miles an hour as he now heads into that 10-11 straightaway, going right down the middle, good line into 11. Now into 12. Nice line. Good line into 14. Crossing that finish line with a downtime of 49.461 seconds. Currently, fourth place at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Ben Wingfield. Sled and track from the men's start. Horse and Colby, stand by, please. In the track, we have Ben Wingfield. Oh, little trouble going through that Bob 3. He gets it under control as he now comes down through Snowy Curve 6 with a top speed of 78.4 miles an hour. Now he heads into those labyrinth curves right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Good line into 12, now 13. Coming down through the shady picket, straight down the middle as he crosses that finish line with a downtime of 49.287 seconds. Currently in fourth place at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Orson Colby. Sled and track from the men's start. Josh Brzezowski, stand by, please. In the track, we have Orson Colby with a good line through Bob 2 and 3. Now coming out of Sunny, then Cutthroat, now Snowy. Top speed, 80 miles an hour. As he comes through the 10-11 straightaway, he's 0.6 behind the pace as he now comes down through 11, now 12, into 13, dropping further back. He's now 0.9 as he comes down through the labyrinth, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 48.692 seconds. Currently in third place at this time with one slider remaining. Track's now clear at the men's start for Josh Brzezowski. Sled and track from the men's start. Our last slider of this USLA Norton's Junior Nationals Championship. We have Josh Brzezowski. He had a little bit of trouble going through Bob 3, but he seems to get it under control as he now goes down through 6, now 7, top speed, 78.9 miles an hour as he goes through those labyrinth curves. Little skid jumping in early into curve 11, but he's under control as he comes out of 11. Good line into 12, now 13. He's behind the pace. It's more of where he's going to land in the standings as he comes up through the finish line with a downtime of 49.888. Currently in 9th place at this time. Recap our top 4. Currently, we have Andrew Robertson with a downtime of 49.015. In 3rd place, we got Orson Colby with a downtime of 48.692. In 2nd place, we have Logan Barnes with a downtime of 47.896. And your current leader at this time, we have Aiden Mueller with a downtime of 47.310. This is a 5-minute warning. 5-minute warning to Ellie Kleinheinz at the women's start. 5-minute warning. 2-minute warning to Ellie Kleinheinz at the women's start. Track's now clear at the women's start for Ellie Kleinheinz. Sled and track from the women's start. Maggie Richardson, stand by, please. We're back to racing with the Norton Junior Nationals Championship women's singles. In the track, we have Ellie Kleinheinz. Start time, 3.294. As Ellie comes down through those labyrinth curves, going into curve 11. She'll be looking to set a high bar here as the first one down from the women's start. Coming down through curve 14. Crossing our speed trap at 74.2 miles an hour. Crossing that finish line with a downtime of 45.133. Track's now clear at the women's start for Maggie Richardson. Sled and track from the women's start. Lillian Arnold, stand by, please. Our second of 17 sliders. Here in the Junior Nationals women's singles, we have Maggie Richardson. Start time, 3.304 seconds as she heads now into those labyrinth curves. Going right down the middle of the 10-11 straightaway. Currently, Maggie's 0.2 behind the pace as she now comes down into 13, into 14. Top speed. 71.1 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 45.916. Track's now clear at the women's start for Lillian Arnold. Sled and track from the women's start. Kaylin Weaver, stand by, please. In the track, we have Lillian Arnold. Start time, 3.390 as she heads into snowy curve 6. Now into 7. Hitting those labyrinths. Little skid coming out of curve 7. It's going to cost her a little bit of time as she now comes down to the 10-11 straight. Little brush right and then left. Going into curve 11. Now coming out of 12. Hitting early. Sends her a little high. And the sled has gone over at the exit of curve 13. Brief hold on the track, brief hold on the track. Two-minute warning to Galen Weaver at the women's start. Galen, if ready, I see the thumbs up. Track's now clear at the women's start for Galen Weaver. Sled in track from the women's start. Macy Showmaker, stand by, please. In the track, we have Galen Weaver with a start time of 3.326 seconds. As she goes into curve 6, Snowy, now out of 7. Going into those labyrinth curves. And the sled has gone over at the entrance of 8. The athlete has gotten back on the sled. He never let go of it, was able to flip back over. It's going to affect her downtime, but she will hopefully be able to cross that finish line. Now exiting curve 11 into 12, she needs to build up some speed to make it up through curve 15, which is uphill, to start losing speed. As she comes down through the speed trap at 52 miles an hour, coming up through 15. She crosses the finish line with a downtime of 1 minute, 21.197 seconds. Track's now clear at the women's start for Macy Showmaker. Sled in track from the women's start. Kendall Atkins, stand by, please. In the track, we have Macy Showmaker with a start time of 3.364 seconds. Little touch, sliders right as she goes through the 5-6 straightaway, but she gets it under control as she heads into those labyrinth curves. Macy's currently 0.8 behind the pace. She'll need to make up some speed here on that lower half of the track as she comes down through curve 12 into 13, now 14, top speed. 72.5 miles an hour as she crosses that finish line with a downtime of 46.419 seconds, currently in third place at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Kendall Atkins. Sled in track from the women's start. Brecken Ludke, stand by, please. In the track, we have Kendall Atkins, start time, 3.281 seconds. And a shout out to track crew on this snowy day. They've done a lot to get the track ready for the race today. And then in between sleds, they are helping clean the ramps so it keeps everything equal. As Kendall now comes down through curve 12, she's 0.2 behind the pace, going into curve 14 with a top speed of 71.6 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 45.761, currently in second place at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Brecken Ludke. Sled in track from the women's start. Adeline Albert, stand by, please. In the track, we have Brecken Ludke. Start time, 3.263 seconds as she now comes into curve 6, snowy. Nice line out of 6 into 7, hitting those labyrinth curves. Hit sliders right as she goes into curve 11. She has it under control, though, as she comes now down into 12 and 13. She's currently 36 hundredths behind the pace as she comes through 14 with a top speed of 69 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 46.113, currently fourth place at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Adeline Albert. Sled in track from the women's start. Mariel Showmaker, stand by, please. In the track, we have Adeline Albert. Start time, 3.306 seconds, as she now comes down through Snowy, which is curve 6, into 7. Good line going into those labyrinth curves as she's coming down to the 10-11 straightaway. Little trouble hitting right, then left before going into curve 11. Hitting early going into 12. But she seems to get it under control by getting those feet down, but it is going to cost her a little bit of time as she comes now down through curve 14 with a top speed of 65.7 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 48.119, currently in 6th place at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Mariel Showmaker. Sled in track from the women's start. Rebecca Kramer, stand by, please. In the track, we have Mariel Showmaker. Start time, 3.343 seconds as she heads into Snowy Curve 6. Now into those labyrinth curves, starting with curve 7. She's currently 37 hundredths behind the pace as she approaches that 10-11 straightaway. Right down the middle, going into curve 11. She's fallen back, though. She's now 89 hundredths, going into 13, now 14. Top speed, 68.2 miles an hour as she comes up through curve 15, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 47.450. Currently, 6th place at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Rebecca Kramer. Track's now clear at the women's start for Zola Antonopoulos. Sled in track from the women's start. Brianna Gosnell, stand by, please. In the track, we have Zola Antonopoulos with a start time of 3.405 seconds as she heads into Snowy Curve 6. Sends her a little high coming out of 7, but she gets it under control as she now comes through those labyrinth curves right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Little early into 12. And she has gone over at the exit of curve 12. Zola at the exit or at the entrance of 14, there's a coach's grate that you can get out on. So about keep going, just keep walking forward at the entrance of 14, you'll see the coach's grate. Track's now clear at the women's start for Brianna Gosnell. Sled and track from the women's start. Brinley Wilson, stand by, please. In the track, we have Brianna Gosnell with a start time of 3.308 seconds as she heads into Snowy, which is curve 6, now 7. Good line out of 7 going into those labyrinth curves. Coming to the 10-11 straightaway. Hugging that sliders right, but not touching as she goes into curve 11, but good line out of 11 into 12. Brianna is currently 37 hundredths behind that pace as she comes down through 14 with a top speed of 72.9 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 45.767, currently in third place at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Brinley Wilson. Sled and track from the women's start. Talia Ton, stand by, please. In the track, we have Brinley Wilson, start time 3.398 seconds as she now goes into curve 6, Snowy. Into 7. Good line out of 7 into those labyrinth curves. She's currently 3,800 behind the pace. as she goes right down that middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Good line out of 11. She's fallen back, though. She's now 76 hundredths behind the pace as she comes out of 13 into 14 with a top speed of 69.1 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 46.802 seconds, currently in 7th place at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Talia Ton. Sled and track from the women's start. Sophia Sorensen, stand by, please. In the track, we have Talia Ton. Start time, 3.253, one of our faster start times here in Heat 1 of the Norton Junior Nationals women's singles. Talia's going through those labyrinth curves, and she's currently call it a full 10th ahead of the pace as she now comes through curve 12 into 13. She's increased that to be 15 hundredths as she now comes down through the labyrinth, or down through low point with a top speed of 70.9 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a 45.208. Currently 2nd place at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Sophia Sorensen. Sled and track from the women's start. Emma and McCarty, stand by, please. In the track, we have Sophia Sorensen with a start time of 3.293 as she goes into curve 6, Snowy. Now into 7, hitting those labyrinth curves. Good line out of 7. She's currently 25 hundredths behind the pace as she goes right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Good line out of 11 into 12. Falling further back, she's now 67 hundredths as she goes into 13, coming out of 14 with a top speed of 69 miles an hour, going up through curve 15 and crossing that finish line with a 46.654 seconds, currently in 8th place at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Emma and McCarty. Sled and track from the women's start. Elin Weaver, stand by, please. In the track, we have Emerin McCarty. Start time, 3.421 as she heads into curve 6, which is snowy. Now into 7. Good line out of 7 going into those labyrinth curves. Emerin is currently a half second behind the pace as she goes right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Good line into 12, but falling further back as she now goes through 13 into 14. Top speed, 69.6 miles an hour crossing that finish line with a downtime of 46.982 seconds. Currently in 10th place with 1 slider remaining. Track's now clear at the women's start for Elin Weaver. Sled and track from the women's start. Our final sled for the Heat 1 of Norton's Junior Nationals women's singles. We have Elin Weaver with a start time of 3.541 seconds. Elin had skidding a little bit and then gets into trouble going into curve 11. She hit right and then hit left, but she has it under control as she comes out of curve 12 into 13, going into 14. Where will Elin place here as she comes down? More trouble as she goes through low point, hitting left, right, left, getting a little skittish as she crosses that finish line with a downtime of 48.740 seconds. Our top 4 at this time, we have in 4th place, we have Brianna Gosnell with a downtime of 45.76 seconds. In 3rd place, we have Kendall Atkin with a downtime of 45.761. In 2nd place, we have Talia Ton with a downtime of 45.208. And your current leader at this time, we have Ellie Kleinheinz with a downtime of 45.133. 5-minute warning, 5-minute warning to Dirk Cardenas at the men's start. 5-minute warning. 2-minute warning, 2-minute warning to Dirk Cardenas at the men's start. 2-minute warning. Dirk, if you're ready, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Track's now clear at the men's start for Dirk Cardenas. Sled and track from the men's start. Chase Summers, stand by, please. We're back to sliding with heat 2 of the men's junior national. In the track, we have Dirk Cardenas. He had a start time of 3.010. Heat 2 is reversed by rank order, so our fastest sleds will be at the end of the order. So we'll see a lot of lead changes as we go through the order. Dirk is now making it down through curve 14. He had a top speed of 74.3 miles an hour as he crosses that finish line with a downtime of 52.882. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 47.604 seconds. Track's now clear at the men's start for Chase Summers. Sled and track from the men's start. Josh Brzezowski, stand by, please. In the track, we have Chase Summers. He is the second of 11 sliders as he has some troubles coming out of Bob 3, going down that 3-4 straightaway, hitting left and then right, but he has it under control as he goes into curve 6, Snowy. Now into 7 with a top speed of 77.2 miles an hour, heading down through those labyrinth curves, right down the middle of the 10-11 straightaway as he now comes out of 11 into 12. Good line. 12, now 13. Going into 14. Right down. Oh, it was hugging that slider's left. He almost hit, but he was able to correct just in time as he crosses that finish line with a downtime of 50.658 seconds. Your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Josh Brzezowski. Sled and track from the men's start. Gavin Davis, stand by, please. In the track, we have Josh Brzezowski. Little trouble going through Bob 3, hitting right and left, but he gets it under control. Now as he heads down into curve 6, Snowy. He has a top speed coming out of 6 of 78.2 miles an hour going through those labyrinth curves. He's currently 4 seconds ahead of the pace as he now comes out of curve 11, going a little early into 12, but he gets it under control as he comes down through 13, now 14. Top speed out of the exit of 14, 72.7 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 50.083 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 39.971. Current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Gavin Davis. Sled in track from the men's start. Gabriel DeSaltel, stand by, please. In the track, we have Gavin Davis. Slight hit coming out of Bob 2, but he has it under control as he goes into curve 4. Now into Snowy curve 6. Gavin Davis is currently 26 hundredths ahead of the pace as he goes through those labyrinth curves with a top speed of 77.5 miles an hour. Brushing sliders left as he goes into curve 11. He's losing some time, though. He's now only a tenth ahead of that pace as he comes down through 13 into 14. He's only 89 thousandths ahead as he comes up through the finish line. Will he make it? Ooh, he barely holds on to his lead with a downtime of 50.246. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 39.939. Your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Gabriel DeSaltel. Sled in track from the men's start. Christopher Brand, stand by, please. In the track, we have Gabriel DeSaltel, another touch coming out of Bob 2 into Bob 3, but he has it under control as he now comes down through Cutthroat curve 5 into Snowy curve 6. Top speed, 78.4 miles an hour as he comes now down through those labyrinth curves. He's currently 14 hundredths ahead of the pace to maintain his position as he now comes out of curve 11. Good line out of 11 into 12. He's increased his lead to be almost a half second as he comes now down through the shady thicket, going up through 15 and crossing that finish line with a downtime of 49.711. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 39.247. Your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Christopher Brand. Sled in track from the men's start. Ben Wingfield, stand by, please. In the track, we have Christopher Brand. Start time, 2.868 seconds as he now goes into Sunny curve 4. Into Cutthroat curve 5, he's currently over a half second ahead of the pace as he now goes through Snowy. little high out of Snowy, but he has it under control as he heads through those labyrinth curves at a top speed of 79.3 miles an hour. Going into curve 11, he's increased his lead to be 7/10 as he now goes into 13 and 14. Hugging that sliders left as he exits 14, but he doesn't touch as he crosses that finish line with a downtime of 49.054 seconds. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 38.515 seconds. Your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Ben Wingfield. Sled in track from the men's start. Andrew Robertson, stand by, please. In the track, we have Ben Wingfield. Little brush, sliders left and right as he goes through Bob 2 and 3, but he has it controlled. He had a start time of 2.983 seconds as he now heads into curve 6, Snowy, with a top speed of 79.1 miles an hour, heading through those labyrinth curves. Right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. He's currently 14 hundredths behind the pace as he now goes through 13 and 14. He's hit slingshot 14. He needs to get some speed somewhere. He's now only 26 thousandths behind the pace. Will he make it as he crosses the finish line? He does. Downtime, 49.076. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 38.363. Current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Andrew Robertson. Sled in track from the men's start. Horse and Colby, stand by, please. In the track, we have Andrew Robertson with a touch coming out of Bob 2, going into Bob 3, has it under control. In Heat 1, Andrew had a 49.015. He will need a 49.348 to maintain his position as he goes through those labyrinth curves. He is currently 36 hundredths ahead of that pace as he skids down through the 10-11 straightaway and goes weird into 11, but he has it a little bit under control. That's going to cost him his speed. He's now 38 hundredths behind that pace as he comes down through curve 14, up through 15, and crossing that finish line. It's where's he going to end up in the standings? He has a downtime of 50.961, combined downtime 1 minute, 39.976. Dropping 5 positions to 6th place at this time. Track's now clear at the men's start for Orson Colby. Sled in track from the men's start Logan Barnes, stand by, please. In the track, we have Orson Colby with a start time of 2.854 seconds as he now goes into sunny curve 4, cutthroat 5 into snowy curve 6. He's currently almost 9/10 ahead of the pace to maintain his position as he comes now right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Good line into 11. Now holding on to right around a 9/10 as he comes out of 13 into 14. Down to 8/10 as he comes now up through the finish line with a downtime of 48.922. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 37.614 seconds. Currently your leader at this time with 2 sliders remaining. Track's now clear at the men's start for Logan Barnes. Sled and track from the men's start. Aiden Mueller, stand by, please. In the track, we have Logan Barnes. Start time, 2.855 seconds as he now goes into sunny curve 4. Into cutthroat 5, he's currently a full second ahead of the pace as he comes now down through those labyrinth curves with a top speed of 81.3 miles an hour as he goes right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. He's increased his lead now by a second and a half, going into 13, now 14. Has a top speed coming out of 14 of 77.1 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 47.928. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 35.824. Your current leader at this time with 1 slider remaining. Track's now clear at the men's start for Aiden Mueller. Sled and track from the men's start. Our final slider for the Norton Junior Nationals men's single, we have Aiden Mueller. His first run, he had a 47.310. He needs a 48.514 to maintain his position, and he's currently 2,500 behind the pace as he goes through those labyrinth curves at a top speed of 78.1 miles an hour. Not enough speed. He needs to find some speed somewhere as he now goes through 12 into 13, hit slingshot, curve 14. Hopefully he gets some speed out of there as he goes through the shady thicket, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 49.180. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 36.490. Your top 4 at this time. In 4th place, we have Ben Wingfield with a combined downtime, 1 minute, 38.363. In 3rd place, we have Orson Colby with a combined downtime, 1 minute, 37.614. In 2nd place, we have Aiden Mueller with a combined downtime, 1 minute, 36.490. And in 1st place, we have Logan Barnes, 1 minute, 35.824. 5-minute warning to Kaylin Weaver at the women's start. 2-minute warning, approximate 2-minute warning to Kaylin Weaver at the women's start. 2-minute warning. Thumbs up when you're ready. Track's now clear at the women's start for Kaylin Weaver. Sled and track from the women's start. Kaylin Weaver, stand by, please. We're back to racing with our first of 14 sliders here for Heat 1 of the USLA Junior Nationals Women's Singles. In the track, we have Kaylin Weaver as she's now going through those labyrinth curves. Again, we are going reverse order by rank, so our fastest sliders are going to be at the end of the order. So we'll see many lead changes as we go through our ladies here. That's Kaylin Weaver as she crosses the finish line with a downtime of 46.551, combined downtime, 2 minutes, 7.48 seconds. Elin, give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Track's now clear at the women's start for Elin Weaver. Sled and track from the women's start. Adeline Albert, stand by, please. In the track, we have Elin Weaver with a start time of 3.554 as she now heads into curve 6, which is snowy, now into 7, which is our labyrinth curves, a series of quick left and right curves that every track in the world has. Hitting little at sliders right, puts her into sliders left right before curve 11, which sends her high at the exit, dropping out. But she gets it under control, but hits early, dropping those feet. That's going to cost her some time as she now comes down through our shady thicket, hitting left and then right as she now comes up and crosses that finish line with a downtime of 51.271, combined downtime 1 minute 40.011. Track's now clear at the women's start for Adeline Albert. Sled in track from the women's start. Mariel Showmaker, stand by, please. In the track, we have Adeline Albert, start time 3.357 as she now heads into curve 6. Noe. Good line out of 6 into 7, hitting those labyrinth curves. She's currently 87 hundredths ahead of the pace as she goes through that 10-11 straightaway, hitting right then left, puts her super early. And she has gone over. Brief hold on the track, brief hold on the track. Mariel, it's going to be a few minutes. I'll give you a 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning, 2-minute warning to Mariel Showmaker at the women's start. 2-minute warning. Thumbs up when you're ready, Mariel. Track's now clear at the women's start for Mariel Showmaker. Sled and track from the women's start. Emma and McCarty, stand by, please. We're back to sliding with the Norton Junior Nationals women's singles. In the track, we got Mariel Showmaker with a start time of 3.298 as she now heads into those labyrinth curves. In run one, she had a 47.450. She'll need a 52.561 to maintain her position, and she's currently a second and a half ahead of that pace as she now comes down through 13 into 14. Top speed, 66.7 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 48.189. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 35.639 seconds. Your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Emma and McCarty. Sled and track from the women's start. Brindley Wilson, stand by, please. In the track, we have Emma and McCarty, start time, 3.414. As she now heads into curve 6. Snowy, she is 3/10 ahead of the pace as she comes down through those labyrinth corners. Little skid's going to cost her a little bit of time as she goes down through the 10-11 straightaway. She's losing a little steam. She's only 13 hundredths ahead of the pace. She'll need to pick up some speed here as she comes through 13 into slingshot 14. Top speed, 67.6 miles an hour. She was able to find that speed that she needed. She had a downtime of 48.063. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 35.045. Your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Brindley Wilson. Sled and track from the women's start. Sophia Sorensen, stand by, please. In the track, we have Brindley Wilson, start time, 3.394 seconds. And as she goes into curve 6, Snowy, she's currently 2/10 ahead of the pace to maintain her position as she goes through those labyrinth corners. Little trouble in 8. Foot comes off the sled. And then in the 10-11, she's skidding through the 10-11 straightaway. That's going to cost her some time. She's now 0.8 behind the pace as she now comes through 12 into 13. She'll drop a few positions, but how far will she drop as she goes down through our shady thicket and then crosses the finish line with a downtime of 51.307, combined downtime 1 minute 38.109, dropping 2 positions at this time and 3rd place. Track's now clear at the women's start for Sophia Sorensen. Sled in track from the women's start. Macy Showmaker, stand by, please. In the track, we have Brinley Wilson, start time, 3.312 seconds, as she now goes into curve 6, Snowy. In her first run, she had a 46.654. She'll need a 48.391 to maintain her position, as she's currently 75 hundredths ahead of that pace as she goes through curve 11 into 12. Good line. She's increased her lead by over a second now as she goes into 13 and 14 with a top speed of 68.2 miles an hour as she crosses that finish line with a downtime of 47 seconds flat. Combined downtime 1 minute 33.654. Your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Macy Showmaker. Sled in track from the women's start. Brecken Lutke, stand by, please. In the track, we have Macy Showmaker with a start time of 3.364 as she heads now into curve 6, Snowy, and 7. She'll need a 47.235 to maintain her position, and she's currently 36 hundredths ahead of that pace as she goes right down the middle of the 10-11 straightaway. Good line into 12. Now 13, she's increased that lead to be 69 hundredths as she comes down through Slingshot. Top speed, 72.3 miles an hour as she crosses that finish line with a downtime of 45.745. Combined downtime, 1 minute 32.164. Current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Brecken Lutke. Sled in track from the women's start. Maggie Richardson, stand by, please. In the track, we have Brecken Lutke with a start time of 3.279 as she now enters into curve 6, Snowy. Now 7, hitting those labyrinth curves. Brecken's going to need a 46.051 to maintain her position. She's currently 4/10 ahead of that pace as she exits curve 11 into 12. now 13. She's hanging on to that 4,500 as she comes down through Slingshot into the shady thicket, up through 15, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 45.624. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 31.73 seconds. Your current leader at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Maggie Richardson. Sled and track from the women's start. Brianna Gosnell, stand by, please. In the track, we have Maggie Richardson with a start time of 3.302 seconds. In run one, Maggie had a 45.916. She'll need a 45.821 to maintain her position. And she is currently 29 thousandths ahead of the pace as she brushes sliders left going through the 10-11 straightaway. That'll cost her a little bit of time. She's now a half second behind the pace as she goes through 13 into 14 Slingshot. Going through our speed trap there at a top speed of 70.1 miles an hour. Crossing that finish line with a 47.501 combined downtime, 1 minute, 33.417. Dropping 2 spots and currently third place at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Brianna Gosnell. Sled and track from the women's start. Kendall Atkins, stand by, please. In the track, we have Brianna Gosnell with a start time of 3.307 as she heads into curve 7, those labyrinth curves, and with a currently 1900 ahead of the pace as she goes right down the middle of the 10-11 straightaway. She's losing a little bit of time. She's now only a tenth ahead of that pace going into 13. She'll need to find some speed as she goes through Slingshot. Only 4,700. Now she's behind the pace as she comes up through curve 15, crossing that finish line. Downtime, 46.218. Combined downtime, 1 minute, 31.985. Dropping 1 position and currently in second place at this time. Track's now clear at the women's start for Kendall Atkins. Sled and track from the women's start. Talia Ton, stand by, please. In the track, we have Kendall Atkins with a start time of 3.316 seconds. As she now heads into curve 6, she will need a 45.976 to maintain her position, and she's currently a quarter second ahead of that pace going through those labyrinth curves. Hitting early sliders left and then right. That's going to cost her some speed. She's now 3/10 behind the pace as she comes down through 12 into 13, going into Slingshot 14. She's 6/10 behind the pace. Going through the shady thicket, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 47.527, combined downtime 1 minute 33.288, falling 3 positions and currently in 4th place at this time with 2 sliders remaining. Track's now clear at the women's start for Talia Ton. Sled and track from the women's start. Ellie Kleinheim, stand by, please. In the track, we have Talia Ton, start time 3.259 as she now heads into curve 6. Talia will need a 46.529, and she's currently 9/10 ahead of that pace as she goes down. Hitting slight rub, sliders right before curve 11, but she's got it under control. Going into 13, now 14. She's 7,500 ahead of the pace. Going through our speed trap with a top speed of 72.3 miles an hour. Crossing that finish line with a downtime of 45.913. Combined downtime 1 minute 31.121 seconds. Currently our leader at this time with 1 slider remaining. Track's now clear at the women's start for Ellie Kleinheim. Sled and track from the women's start. Our final slider for Heat 2 of the Norton Junior Nationals, we have Ellie Kleinheim. Ellie was our fastest slider in Heat 1 with a downtime of 45.133. She'll need a 45.988 to maintain her position, and she's currently 1,500 ahead of the pace. She goes right down the middle of the 10-11 straightaway. Good line out of 11 into 12. She's now increased her lead to 3,200 as she goes into slingshot with a top speed of 71 miles an hour coming up through the finish line with a downtime of 45.420, combined downtime 1 minute 30.553. Your unofficial top 4 at this time. We have Brianna Gosnell in 4th place with a combined downtime 1 minute 31.985. In 3rd place, we got Brecken Ludke with a combined downtime of 1 minute 31.737. In 2nd place, we have Talia Ton with a combined downtime 1 minute 31.121. And in 1st place, we have Ellie Kleinheim with a combined downtime 1 minute 30.553. 2-minute warning to Marcus Mueller and Hansel Hogshaw at the double start. 2-minute warning. Marcus and Ansel, if you guys are ready, just give me a thumbs up. Track's now clear at the double start for Marcus Mueller and Ansel Hogshaw. Sled in track from the double start. Sadie Martin and Brianna Gosnell, stand by, please. In the track, we have Marcus Mueller with Ansel Hogshaw, our first of 3 competitors in the Junior Nationals doubles race. Mueller and Ansel had a start time of 3.114 as they come down through 12 into 13. Good line out of 13 into 14. Top speed 77.3 miles an hour as they cross that finish line with a downtime of 44.406. Track's now clear at the double start for Sadie Martin and Brianna Gosnell. Sled in track from the double start. Nathan Bivens and Wolfgang Lux, stand by, please. In the track, we have Sadie Martin and Brianna Gosnell. Start time 3.275 seconds as they exit curve 6 Snowy into 7, heading into those labyrinth curves. They are currently 64 hundredths behind the pace as they have a little trouble going through the labyrinth, brushing right, then sliders left. But they have it under control as they exit curve 11 into 12. They're falling further behind as they go through Slingshot with a top speed of 64.9 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 47.074. Track's now clear at the double start for Nathan Bivens and Wolfgang Lux. Sled and track from the double start. Our final competitors for the Norton Junior Nationals doubles. We have Nathan Bivens with Wolfgang Lux with a start time of 3.234 seconds as they go through the labyrinth curves. They are currently 34 hundredths behind the pace as they go right down that middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Good line out of 11 into 12. They're falling a little bit further behind. They're now 47 hundredths behind as they come down through Slingshot with a top speed of 71.7 miles an hour. Coming up. Oh! They went over right before the finish line. Our top two finishers at this time, we have Sadie Martin with Brianna Gosnell with a 47.074. And currently in first place, we have Marcus Mueller and Ansel Hogshaw with a downtime of 44.406. There's going to be a brief hold in the sliding action as we transfer our athletes back to their start. 2-minute warning, 2-minute warning to Sadie Martin and Brianna Gosnell. 2-minute warning. Sadie and Brianna, if you guys are ready, give me a thumbs up. Track's now clear at the double start for Sadie Martin and Brianna Gosnell. Sled and track from the double start. Marcus Mueller and Ansel Hogshaw, stand by, please. In the track, we have Sadie Martin and Brianna Gosnell. Start time, 3.325 seconds. They'll be looking to improve on their first time as they come down through those labyrinth corners. We have 2 sliders in Heat 2 of the Norton National or Junior Nationals doubles race. And Sadie and Brianna go through slingshot with a top speed of 66.2 miles an hour, crossing that finish line with a downtime of 46.432, combined downtime 1 minute 33.506. Track's now clear at the double start for Marcus Mueller and Ansel Hogshaw. Sled and track from the double start. Our final competitor in the Norton Junior Nationals, we have Marcus Mueller and Ansel Hogshaw. Start time, 3.138 seconds as they come down through those labyrinth curves. Right down the middle of that 10-11 straightaway. Good line into 11, now 12. Through 13 into slingshot with a top speed 73 miles an hour as they come up through the finish line with a downtime of 44.659, combined downtime 1 minute 29.065. Our top 2 at this time. In second place, we have Sadie Martin and Brianna Gosnell with a combined downtime 1 minute 33.506 seconds. And in first place, we have Marcus Mueller and Ansel Hogshaw with a combined downtime of 1 minute 29.065.